Hello everybody, welcome back. This is Sparks, and today we're going to be working some more on what is probably going to be called Foxy Boxes. So would you take a look at this? This is a build from Xuma's public server. There's a credit list right here of people who took part, and this is awesome. Like, I'm so grateful to the people who worked on this. Basically, Xuma's public server is a build server, plot server, and the builders on there are fantastic. The community is amazing. I really like going on there. I hang out there sometimes, and they've built stuff for me before. I had a dungeon building competition for custom terrain, and I basically set them. I laid out the path for a track, and then asked them to build a level based on a theme. So you can see here, if you want to pause the video, this is what I told them, and that was basically it. So yeah, it's pretty awesome to be able to sort of bring in this group of people to help with a project like this. So I'm not sure yet whether this is going to be an actual level in the game, but it's definitely going to be good for testing. So I'll just sort of run through it with you. Now you'll notice I have jump boost 2 right now. I can jump up 2 blocks. I'm not sure if I want to keep that or not. I like being able to jump up 2 blocks. I think it might make for some more interesting jumping puzzles, but I find jump boost makes you feel very floaty in Minecraft. I don't like how long you're in the air. It feels kind of like you're moonwalking, which I can't really think of a way of allowing people to jump 2 blocks high, but also spend less time in the air. I just feel it's a lot harder to control your movement. So yeah, this is kind of the level they've designed for me. I think it looks pretty cool. The idea is it's sort of a straight path with a few diversions. Things like lava pits, I think I'm going to replace with holes, or I may keep lava pits. I'm not really sure yet. We've got some some drops and pretty nicely decorated. There's signs all over the place here. There's some interesting jumps, little temple sort of thing. I think they've done a really nice job here. And basically, this is the sort of feel. This is the first time I've kind of shown the sort of feel that I want for this game. So basically, oh dear. Wow, my voice just died there. Sort of a point A to point B feel map, and I haven't really gone through making sure you can't get out of this, but I just want to feel like you're running more or less in a straight line most of the time. We've got a split here, which is kind of cool. So I was playing around with different ways of doing holes. These are redstone controlled. I think the redstone has either been cut out or turned off by my moving it. Oh yeah, I think the public server basically automatically turns off clocks, so it might do stuff now. Basically, the pistons alternated between which one was up and which one was down, which is kind of cool. And then this is my favorite jump of the entire thing. Now I've got jump boost, so this is probably not going to be quite as fun as usual, but like I said, this game is designed to be speedrun, and I can just obviously jump over here because I've got jump boost. But before I had jump boost, which I don't think I can get rid of right now without going back to the redstone, you had this choice. You jump up here, you jump up here. Ooh, wow. And again, see, this is it feels too floaty. So the safe route is to go round the tree. Oh my god. Okay, the safe route, I'm really bad at moving with jump boost, is to go round the tree like this. But if you were speedrunning this, it is possible to jump onto this leaf right here. So you kind of go like that and then push off of it. Hang on a second. Oh, that feels much better. So this is what I was talking about. You can kind of clip off it like that, which is kind of cool. So the little jumping tricks like that I think are kind of cool. We've got this bridge. We've got this whole split path feel. Now, if the goal is to get all of the crates in a level, that means that you potentially have to double back if you want to 100% the game, which is can be kind of interesting. I'm just going to fly over there to cheat. There's sort of signs hidden here and there. I think I'm going to turn off the tick speed at some point to stop things growing and spreading and stuff like that. So I think this looks really cool. This side of it has got a really cool jump on a skull. Oh, that looks weird. I re-added the texture. Wow, I suck at this game. Like that. This is honestly, I'm usually better than this. Honest. This is kind of interesting. You see this hole here? You can't see it until you've made the jump. So if someone didn't know it was there, you could quite easily just go like that. Boop. So you can sort of hide little jumps and things like that here and there. And we've got, I think this is the perfect place for a crate, especially if it makes you bounce, because you can sort of go boing, like that. There's some bits and pieces that I want to change around here. But I think it's going to be at least perfect for testing. Some interesting jumps, and then the end of the level will go somewhere here. There's another one that's been made that uses... there's like a snowy level, which we'll look at later. And I realised that I've MC edited this in a stupid place because we're right by the spawn chunks, which means, yeah, I'm going to have to move that. But I just thought I'd show you guys this before we start on today's project, which is special attacks. People have been asking for this for a while. But before we do that, I actually want to show you the jump boost effect that I have set up is pretty cool. So I now have it so that, where are these crates? There's the crate, there's the Foxy box. So if I jump off this box, I will get a jump boost effect. So you can see I don't have jump boost right now, but if I jump on this, I go boing, and I kind of get launched, which has a really cool feeling to it. You can use it to get up things you normally wouldn't be able to. So you can do things like this. So you can go, well, I just failed that, like so. Woo! Which lets you get over ledges and things by bouncing off the boxes. I think that feels pretty cool. There's a thing which we'll look at in a later episode where, if you watch, I jump on this and it breaks, right? But if I jump on this now, it doesn't break because I'm technically not on top of the crate when I land. I'm over the air and I clip on it. So we're going to have to do some sort of system that detects crates around you as well. But without further ado, let's get started on some special attacks. So I just spent probably way too long thinking about the visual attack effect, and got a little bit sidetracked for it. But take a look at this. So there's some secret particles called block crack, icon crack, and block dust. They're kind of secret. I'm using inverted commas. We used this one, icon crack, for the Minathon light show last year. So let's take a look at these. So this one here is block crack. This is icon crack, and this is block dust. Now all of these are kind of supposed to be the same thing, but I just thought I'd look at these quickly because it's kind of interesting. So block dust, icon crack is an easy one to see. 95 is the stained glass ID, and then afterwards there's an underscore, and then you put the damage value. So 3 is the light blue stained glass. You can see right here, light blue. So you kind of get, and you can set the explosioniness of it using the speed setting there. So that's kind of cool. A bit of an explosion might be cool for an attack. Maybe a different color than blue. It looks like water, but these ones are interesting. Block dust doesn't allow any kind of damage value, so it just does the default white stained glass, so that's no use to us, but I thought it was interesting. And this one's just interesting because firstly, it ignores speed. The block crack ignores speed. And secondly, this number here is actually the same as this number and this number together. Now, the way this works is you take the damage value you want for it, which in this case was 3, and you times it by 4096. So 4096 times 3, and then you add the ID of the block. So this is the result of 4096 times 3 plus 95. It's a very weird way of doing it, but yeah, kind of interesting. But I think this one could potentially be kind of cool. Maybe a different color to create sort of a cool attacky effect, kind of splooshy. But I don't want to mess around with the attack for too long because I've realized that the attack mechanic is probably going to, like, we've got the click and we've got the right click, and I think the click may well take up this episode and we'll have to look at right click next time. So a little bit about the click mechanic and the way I want it to behave is when you click, it plays the attack, and there'll be a short cooldown of probably only like a second or two before it plays again. I'd like people to be able to use the attack in the air, so you can jump and click, and the attack will run while you're in the air. But I'd like it so that the effect can't cool down until you've landed. So if you jump and click, you can't use the attack again until you've landed on the ground. I don't know. I think that might be kind of a nice way of doing it. So as a result, we need to set up a first of all the click detection, but we've kind of done that in previous episodes, and then mix that with the on-ground detection we used last episode for the crate breaking. So that's kind of interesting. I'll see what we can do about that. Alrighty, I've added a new objective called A1 cooldown, and I set players' A1 cooldown to score to 0 at the very beginning of the game. And what I've done is I've split this chunk up into two. We're going to use one for click and one for right click detection, and we've just got basically the same thing we've been doing over there in previous episodes, where you set a block at left click and it pulses this. It pulsed, honest. So what we're doing is over on our strip here for clicking, you can see here it says say right click. So here is where the say left click was, but it's been changed. So now anyone with a left click score of 1 who has an A1 cooldown score of 0, meaning the attack 1 has cooled down completely, will execute on the left click armor stand to set block a redstone block. So if I go into game mode 2, hang on, let me put a quick message here, say hi. So if I go into game mode 2 quickly, the villager bubble is now surrounding me, and if I click, it set the block, but it didn't say hi. Did I? Okay, I had this wrong. This needs to set block a redstone block directly below it, and then we need to teleport the left click armor stand down a block, and we can get rid of that. So now I believe if we click, boop, there we go. There's an invisible bubble of villagers right here. So if I click here, it says hi. So that's cool. What we do now is, in place of this, we're going to go scoreboard players set at A1 cooldown, and then something like 20. So now when we click, it sets it to 20. And then did you see that? So what I've got over here at the end, look, I'll show it again. So if I click over here where the bubble of villagers is, it goes down to 1, which means if we click again, nothing will happen because our cooldown isn't 0 yet. And what I've done is over here, down here, I set the cooldown to, oh, hang on, let me show you the other one first. So this one over here removes 1 from all players with an A1 cooldown of 2 or more. So it basically it cycles down to 1. And then this one sets your cooldown score to 0 if your cooldown score is 1 and you are not in the air. So as soon as I land on the ground, it's going to set it to 0. There we go. So this way, let me go into game mode. Game mode 2 a second. I'm just going to teleport the villagers over here. If I can click and it cools down, and I can click and it cools down. That's all good. And I can jump and click, and it activates in the air, which is great. What the? Oh my god, slime blocks are so broken! Look at that! That's ridiculous. Anyway, but if I jump and click and I'm still in the air afterwards, which I can't really show because I don't have a large drop or anything, I won't be able to redo the attack until... So if I just spam click, I can't... You can see that I'm kind of... It has to get to 0 before the number resets. I'm currently using the villager bubble. Earlier I tried setting it to teleport. I tried to get it to summon a villager over here. Oh dear, I nearly fell. I tried to fly. I tried to summon a villager up here, then teleport it to me in the next tick, then kill it in the tick after, and I nearly crashed my game because for some reason, even though I was teleporting the villagers down 1,000 blocks, they were not dying. So I've now attached... Oh my goodness. I've attached the particle effect to that, so if I click... I need to change the... There we go. So when I click, it plays sort of a splooshy sploosh. So it's kind of cool. We can replace that with another effect. I've been looking at Adrian Brightmore's orbit filter. Might be kind of interesting to do something with that, to have sort of a swirly effect around you when you attack. So that's kind of cool. Great. So, and the cooldown is working, so that's nice. Sweet. So the next thing I want to do for this attack, we're going to deal with enemies later. I'm probably, hopefully, going to be programming my own bad guys into this. This is just ridiculous. Look at this. So stupid. Programming my own bad guys in with their own hitboxes and different ways of attacking them. So eventually this click attack is going to affect bad guys, but I also want it to break crates. So the spin attack is going to be able to break crates to any side of you. So that's any if I span right here, all 4 of these would break, I think. Or maybe I should make it so that you have to be pressed right up against them, so you can stand here and it'll break these 2. So you have to kind of push against them while using the attack to break it. Oops. So that's, I think, next. I'm still using the furnace block for this, but I will eventually change it. So I've got to click, and I've got it to say found if it finds a box in the positive X of me. So it found it, but what I can do is I think it'll still find it if I click here, yeah, and here. So I'm going to try changing the number. I've got the command over here, basically executing on players that detect a furnace to say found, and we'll just change that to destroy or set block destroy. So I'm going to try changing this to 0.2. Game mode 2. So, oh, I didn't find it. Okay, I got it. It was 0.4. So clicking now doesn't find it, but moving just over here does find it. Move a tad over and it doesn't find it anymore. So you have to be literally pushing against it while using the attack to trigger it. So that's kind of cool. So I'm just gonna set that up to destroy it instead. So we're gonna go set block 1 like that. Air 0 destroy. So now if I click, nothing happens. If I push against it and click, it destroys it. Cool. Huh, I seem to have broken my velocity thing. It thinks I have a velocity of 11. Why is that? Which means I break this when I hop onto it, which is not supposed to happen. Does it happen if I'm in game mode 2? Yeah. What? What did I do? Anyway, that aside, if I click right now, I broke that one. I can lean against this one to break this one. And I can lean against both of these and break them both. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. And a sort of a visual effect that you're attacking as well. Maybe a play sound as well. I'm not really sure why that crate thing is happening. I don't know why this is happening. My velocity is suddenly marked as being a lot higher than it used to. Very odd. Very strange. I really don't quite know what happened there. Yeah. Anyway, the box breaking is kind of interesting. I would quite like to be able to game mode 2 type. I'd quite like to be able to type. If I move along a line of boxes, to be able to break several while moving. So if I'm doing this, it would sort of break all 3 of those. At the moment, I think it will only break 1 of them. Yeah. It can't really... I think the break only happens in that one instance. So I may want to turn this into a... I can break 2 by going at an angle like that. But that's about it. I can't really... I'm going to raise that up a little bit, see how that looks. Where was the clicky things? Oh, I left them here. It's more visually noticeable, I think, to the player. Maybe 0.5. Anyway, I think I'd kind of like to put the box break things on a temporary clock, like a clock that runs while the cooldown is in effect. So maybe have a second one of these, which is just like a fast pulse clock. I'd want it to be like I'd want it to run if AI cooldown is 2 or more, I guess. No, or well, however long I want it to run. So this sets it to 20, so we could do between 20 and 10 would run something. So if I make this a initialize for the attack and then have a separate one which runs for the attack. Let me try something a second. Alright, so I've got a new fill strip over here called L-click clock. And over here, on top of the left click detection thing here, which is checking for a left click score of 1 and a cooldown score of 0, this one here does the same thing except it executes on the L-click clock if your cooldown score is 10 or more. So if I go over here and click, we should see this thing pulse a ton and then stop once we get below 10. So it's probably going to pulse either 10 times or 5 times. I'm not quite sure. So give him a 2, click, and it kind of pulses a bit. That kind of works. Let's see how many times it pulses. 10 or 5. I want to say... I want to say 10. But it might be 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, fine, whatever floats your boat, L-click clock. So I'm going to clone these over to this other clock. They're basically going to run several times now. So if I stand up here and I click, it all pulses, and then if I'm down here next to a row of these boxes, these foxy boxes, and I click, I kind of managed to run a few there. So running against them, nothing happens. If I run against them and click, yeah, I broke a couple there. It's not bad. So it's kind of the attack goes on for a bit. I wonder what happens if I try running at a ton of boxes. I can break 2. That's kind of interesting. Yeah, it feels alright. It'd be nice if it could break the box before it slows you, so you don't bump against it. Because currently that's kind of what's happening. Notice that I can never place blocks while in game mode 2 because my click detection thing is around me. Interesting. I think we're getting somewhere here. So we've got the block breaking there, and we've got the left click initialize, which we'll probably mostly just use for the sound effect and particle effect. If we come up with a cool one, I don't know if you guys have any ideas for how to make it look cool. I just threw that block crack thing together as a test. I have no idea why this velocity thing is happening, where suddenly my velocity is much higher when I hop up something. I'm kind of annoyed about that because I had a quick look and I can't work out what it's doing, so I'm gonna have to fiddle with it some more. People have been asking whether they can have the download for this. I want to finish the box bouncing mechanic, which I guess I kind of have finished to an extent. I'd like to open this up, like supply this for download once that's ready, so people can have a go at playing with some box breaking puzzles, like some bouncy puzzles and things like that. Because I think that might be kind of cool. I broke that one before I could actually jump off of it. That's annoying. And that time it didn't break at all. What is going on? This is so weird. I don't like it. Well, it's that time again, guys. The end of the episode. Thank you for watching. I'm going to try and work out why this thing is breaking. The whole velocity thing. It's completely kaput. Very strange. Next episode, we're going to be looking at the right-click attack. Seriously, box. Seriously. Wow, that was weird. Okay. Yeah, I have no idea why it's doing that. Next episode, we're going to be looking at the other attack, which is going to be a bit more interesting because unlike the primary attack, the click, this one's going to be a bit more varied. So it's going to change depending on whether you're in the air or on the ground or moving or stationary, that kind of thing. So it kind of acts as different things. So I want to go for sort of a ground pound attack if you're in the air, and then if you're on the ground, maybe some sort of dash attack would be be good. And in the meantime, I'm going to try and work out what is going on with that velocity thing, because those boxes aren't behaving properly anymore, which is so strange because I didn't do anything to change them. And like the same jump can result in different velocities. Oh. Look at that. My velocity just keeps going up when I jump like that. I wonder if that's... Okay, right. Well, I'm gonna look into it anyway. So thank you very much as always for watching. Thank you for the lovely suggestions in the last episode. And also storyline. I was asking people, and one or two people said they were interested to come up with a story for it. It can be a cheesy story. I have nothing against it being a cheesy story. Because, I mean, think of Crash Bandicoot. The storyline is your sister needs batteries for her laptop. So you go look for batteries, end up saving the world, and forget about the batteries. So, you know, it can be a pretty silly plot. I think that just adds to the fun of the game in many ways. So, thank you as always for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.